सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। ओम श्री हयग्रीवाय नमः। ओम श्री वल्लभा समेत श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः। So we were going into the topic, this new topic, Shruta Prakashika Ukta Dusana Nirakarana Purvakam Nirvikalpaka-Svarupa-Niroopanam. So Nirvikalpaka-Svarupa-Niroopanam we are going to do again by also addressing the concerns raised in the Shruta Prakashika, which is written by Sudarshana Suri. It is a commentary on Ramanuja's Bhashya. So in the Shruta Prakashika, what has been said? Okay, Yad Uktam Shruta Prakashikayam Nirvishesha Shabdaha Bahuvrihi Samasena Anya Padartha Abhidhayi iti Tad asmakam ishtameva. Yeah. So in the Shruta Prakashika, it is said that Nirvishesha Sabda is actually a Bahuvrihi Samasa. So Visheshaha Yasmat Nirgataha. Like that you can do a Vigraha there. So from which all the Visheshas have gone. That is Nirvishesha Vastu. So that is the Bahuvrihi Samasa. And with this, which we also accept. Okay. So Asmakam Ishtameva, it is desirable for us also. We also give that meaning only. Of course, in this one doubt may come. If you say that all the Visheshas have gone from something, then were they there then to start with? The question comes, correct? If they are there really, how can it go? If they were not there only to start with, then why do you say that Nirgataha Visheshaha? How can you say? Means that's where we have to say the Visheshas are there Mayaya. So there is a context there to say that all the Visheshas have gone, because it is like saying all the Visheshas of the snake are gone from the rope, correct? So something like that we have to understand. So what we say, Atayeva Asmabihi Vishesha Rahita Anya Padarthaha Nirvishesha Padarthaha iti uchyate. So we also say, therefore what? We also say that the Vastu in which all the Visheshas are not there. Vishesha Rahita Anya Padarthaha Nirvishesha Padarthaha. That's how we also say. And further what we are saying, Nahi Nirgataha Visheshaha Yasmat Sa Padarthaha Savisheshaha Bhavitum Arhati. Okay, so again, from which all the Visheshas are gone, that cannot be known as Savishesha Vastu, correct? Once you say that all the Visheshas are gone from a particular Vastu, we cannot further hold that it is a Savishesha Vastu. That is not possible. So, that also one has to be very clear. And what is further said in the Shruta Prakashika, Yacha Uktam Yetena Pratyayasya Savishesha Vishayatva Abhave Pratyayatvam Eva Hiyate iti Tadapi Ayuktam. Okay, so in the Shruta Prakashika it is said that Pratyaya means cognition, we can take it as, okay? That there is a cognition of something means, and if that cognition itself is not Savishesha, okay, or if it does not have for its object a Savishesha Vishaya, it cannot even be a Pratyaya. Pratyaya itself is not possible. All cognitions can only reveal to you something which is having some qualities. Okay. Savishesha Vishayam only all cognition have to be. It cannot be Nirvishesha is what they are saying. The very fact that you are cognizing it makes it Savishesha. That is the point they are making. So if it is not so, then it is not even a cognition. Okay? Pratyayatvam eva hiyate. It will give up its pratyayatvam itself. But that is not acceptable to us. That's not tenable. Why? Nirvikalpakasyapi savishesha vishayatve nirvikalpatvam hiyate iti. See, if you say that, then if you say the very fact that something is cognized makes it savishesha, means then what about the nirvikalpaka vishayas which we cognize? Then they will give up their nirvikalpakatvam itself. So after having said it is nirvikalpa and nirvishesha from which all the visheshas have gone, and then you say by cognizing it, it becomes savishesha, means then it is giving up its nirvikalpakatvam. How can you then anymore claim that it is nirvikalpaka? That is the question. Also further what nacha katipaya vikalpa rahitya satvepi nirvikalpakatvasya na hanihi iti vachyam. Okay, then what do the Purvapakshi say? They are saying katipaya vikalpa rahitya satvepi. So only some vikalpas are not there. Then only we can say it is nirvikalpaha. Okay, not that all vikalpas need not go away. Even if some vikalpas are gone, it is fine. We can still call it a nirvikalpaka vastu, okay, or a nirvikalpaka pratyaya. So what is the problem? There is no problem in saying that it is nirvikalpa. If some vikalpas are gone from it, it can still have vikalpas like pratyayatvam, correct? So what is the problem? Because the very fact you are able to cognize itself, that is a quality, correct? The cognizability itself is a quality, or pratyayatvam itself becomes a vishesha. That is their point. But even that cannot be said. Why? Tatha sati savikalpaka nirvikalpaka shabdayoho pritag arthatva yoga. If you say that, then why do you even have two words? Savikalpaka, nirvikalpaka, etc. Everything is savikalpaka only then. What is the point in saying that this is nirvikalpa and that is savikalpa, etc.? It is meaningless. Pritag word, two different words are not even needed then. Correct? Then what do they say? Okay, sarva vikalpa sahitam savikalpakam katipaya vikalpa rahitam nirvikalpakam iti bhedaha na iti na vachyam iti na vachyam. You cannot say that also. What he is saying now, sarva vikalpa sahitam savikalpakam. Savikalpakam means that which has all the vikalpas. And that which does not have some vikalpas, correct? Katipaya vikalpa rahitam nirvikalpakam. Why can't we say like that? That is the difference. So you can have two words. If you say like that, what? Sarva vikalpa sahitasya vastunaha kasyachid abhavat. You cannot say any vastu is having all the qualities. How can you say that a vastu which has all qualities or all kind of divisions is savikalpaka, and nirvikalpaka means some vikalpas or divisions are not there. You cannot say that. In fact, nahi ekasmin ghatado vishaye sarve vikalpaha sambhavanti. So in one object like a pot, all the vikalpas are there, all the visheshas are there. How can you say? For example, nahi jnatritvadi visheshaha ghate santi. The ghata cannot be a knower, right? Because it is jada vastu. So jnatritvam, that quality, the quality of being a knower is not there in the ghata. Napi jadatvadi visheshaha jive santi. And the jiva cannot be a jada because jiva is sentient, correct? The individual conscious being is a sentient being, so it cannot be an insentient being. Napi dukkhadi visheshaha ishvare santi, and even in Ishvara, certain qualities we don't accept, like dukkha. Ishvara cannot have any dukkha and then still claim to be Ishvaraha. Ishvara is Ananda Swarupa always. That's why we even portray Dakshinamurti as the eternal youth, correct? Tarunaha. So Vriddha Shishyaha Gurur Yuva. That is the thing, correct? Chitram Vatataror Mule, Vriddha Shishya Gurur Yuva, we say, to show that Dakshinamurti is always Ananda Swarupa. Ishvara is always Ananda Swarupa, so cannot have dukkha. Therefore, what? Pratyuta Sarva Visheshaspadam Nirvishesham Brahmaiva. So, what do we say finally? In fact, the locus for all the Visheshas is really only Nirvishesham Brahma. but we already actually proved that. So that's what you can say. In fact, that makes sense actually. So once we say this, what nacha nirvisheshasya tasya katham savisheshatvam iti vachyam. How can you say that it is nirvishesham Brahma and say that all visheshas have their locus? In that means what? Maya klat sambhava. Correct? Even Bhagavan says in the Gita, Matstani sarvabhutani nachaham tesh avastitaha. Then immediately he says, Nacha matstani bhutani pashyame yogam aishwaram. How can you explain two contradictory statements? Immediately he says, you can only understand that by if you understand Satyam Mithya properly. Correct? You can always say Mithya is there in Satyam. Sorry, that is the Mithya is really Satyam only because its very existence is dependent on the Satyam. Correct? Mithya is dependent reality. So you can say in one way that all the Mithya are all existing only in Satyam. But then when you look at Satyam as it is, then you can't in its own from its own standpoint there is nothing in Satyam. Correct? Really speaking, the Satya Vastu is by itself. So nothing is there. You can like it is like saying the snake is the rope. You can say that. But if you understand rope as rope, there is no snakeness or anything. Right? You can say the beggar is the actor. The beggar character is an actor. Correct? But the actor is not beggar. Actor, in fact, is really a millionaire. So, like that, all these vikalpas, visheshanas, etc., they are all only maya, means they are all mithya. They don't have any existence of their own. They don't really exist. They are of a different order of reality. That's what we have to understand here. So maya tat sambhavat. Okay, then what? Tasmat katipaya vikalpa sahitameva savikalpam घटादि घटादि वस्तु सविकल्पक ज्ञाने विषयः भवति इति कृत्वा यत् त्वया उक्तं कतिपय विकल्परहितं ज्ञानं निर्विकल्पकम् इति तत् सविकल्पकं ज्ञानम् एव ततश्च निर्विकल्पक ज्ञानस्य लक्षणं त्वया नैव उक्तम् इति अवश्यं तद् वक्तव्यम्. Okay, so therefore what we are saying now, tasmat katipaya vikalpa sahitameva savikalpakam ghatadi vastu means even the savikalpaka jnana we are saying, it is not that sarva vikalpas are there in that. All the vikalpas, all the visheshanas are there, then it is savikalpaka. Nobody can claim that. Any savikalpaka vastu you know also has some vikalpas only in that. And so, and further, if you say that the nirvikalpaka pratyaya also is only revealing to you something with some vikalpas, then that is also will become savikalpaka, and then you don't require two words, correct? Then why do we even require the word nirvikalpaka? Nirvikalpaka becomes meaningless according to what you say. And further, in fact, you have to explain to us. Tatasya nirvikalpaka jnanasya lakshanam tvaya naiva uktam. You have not said what do you mean by nirvikalpaka jnanam till now. Okay. So you have to first explain that to us. Iti avashyam tad vaktavyam. You have to tell your own view about what is nirvikalpaka jnanam, what is savikalpaka jnanam. See, even the Nayayikas talk about nirvikalpaka jnana and they claim it is atindriya and all that. Okay, now these people, what do they say? They in fact say prathama pinda grahanam nirvikalpakam iti uktam. The first individual cognition you have of something is nirvikalpaka according to them. Then second onwards it is savikalpa means, in fact, nobody accepts that. So, nacha pratama pinda grahanam nirvikalpakam iti vachyam. You cannot say that I have said already what the first individual at which I cognize. Individual cognition is nirvikalpakam means that nobody can accept that. In fact, already we have shown the problem in that, correct? Tad ayuktatvasya adav eva uktatvat. Already we have said you cannot say that. What is the difference between Prathama Pratyaya, Dvitiya Pratyaya? Both are Savikalpaka only. So what is the point in saying Prathama Pinda Grahanam is Nirvikalpakam? even there is no, you are not able to show any differentiation between the first pratyaya and the second pratyaya. Here also you are not able to show any difference between nirvikalpaka vastu and a savikalpaka vastu. According to you, everything becomes savikalpaka only. Okay, so you cannot claim that prathama pinda grahanam is nirvikalpaka. In fact, that is only talked about by you. So swasanketa matra siddharthasya agrahyatvat iti. See, only you are talking about this. So we cannot accept something which you have just imagined something. This is only indicated by you. So we cannot accept that. Whatever is only seen by you, it is only your own pratibhasikam, then we have to say, correct? So that is not the answer. Further what? Nanu bhavatu nirvikalpakasya savishesha vishayatve nirvikalpak nirvikalpakatva hanihi. Okay, now the Purvapakshi is saying, okay, let it let it be that nirvikalpaka also is savishesha vishaya only, means the nirvikalpakatvam of that will go. That is fine. Let there be nirvikalpakatva hani, because for them anyway it is not a problem. They don't anyway accept any nirvikalpaka vishaya or vastu only. But now they are turning the tables on the Siddhanti. So what is he saying? Pratyayasya savishesha vishayatva bhave pratyayatvam eva hiyate ityasya kaha samadhihi iti chet uchyate. Okay, now he is asking the question what? See, there is a cognition, pratyaya. Okay, if you say that pratyaya does not have a savishesha vishaya, correct? Savishesha vishayatva abhave sati. So if that pratyaya or cognition does not reveal to me an object which can be objectified or which can have qualities, right? As soon as you objectify something, it should have some qualities only. Now, if you say that I can cognize something which does not have any qualities, then it is not even a cognition. Pratyayatvam eva hiyate. It will give up its nature of being a cognition itself, correct? So pratyayatvam eva hiyate iti asya kaha samadhi. Now, what is your answer for this? Okay, means we are saying this. What? Pratyayasya nirvishesha vishayatva bhave pratyayatvam eva hiyate ityapi suvachatva. If you say like this is your own rule, correct? That pratyaya means it has to only reveal a savishesha vishaya. Also, there is no rule like that. I can also say that if the pratyaya cannot reveal nirvishesha vishaya, okay, nirvishesha vishayatva bhave, then it cannot be a pratyaya. I can claim that, correct? That also will be good. Then if you say like this, I say the opposite, which is correct. You have to understand that. In fact, we established this also. All pratyayas really resolve only in the nirvishesha Brahman, correct? But also we established that. That's why even the Kenopanishad says, Pratibodha viditam matam. So each and every cognition resolves into this nirvikalpaka vastu only. There is no doubt about that. Because the very astitvam of any pratyaya is really Brahman's only, correct? Ti bhati is Brahman. It is Brahmatma. Therefore, each and every cognition, the invariable in that is really Brahmatma only. So, in fact, all the cognitions, once you remove the mithya nama rupa, they all resolve into Brahman alone. So, in fact, I can say very well that all pratyayas really only reveal this nirvishesha vishaya. That is jnani's drishti also, in fact. That is the jnana drishti. So, if that is not there, it is not really a cognition. It is only Brahma, in fact. It is not even Prama. So, that's what we are saying. So, once we say this, what he is saying, what? Okay. Pratiyate anena iti pratyaya iti vyutpatya nirvikalpaka pratyayena kasyapi pratiti abhavat pratyayatva hanihi iti na vachyam. Okay. So, pratiyate anena. So, this is the vyutpatti. Pratyaya means what? By which you cognize. If you take that meaning, this is karana vyutpatti. So, using this karana vyutpatti, what we mean basically, pratyaya means he is meaning pramana, that by which you cognize. And once you take a vyutpatti like this, nirvikalpaka pratyayena kasyapi pratiti abhava. There is no pratiti for which you can say that The whatever by which you know is nirvikalpaka. So nirvikalpaka pratyayena kasyapi pratiti abhava. So there is no cognition which you can say is brought about by a nirvikalpaka vritti or anything, because generally the vritti is the one we take as the pramana, correct? So even in our siddhanta also, the vritti avachinna chaitanyam is the pramana for us. There is a vishaya avachinna chaitanyam, that is prameyam. Then anthakarana avachinna chaitanyam as a whole, where the ahankara is there, that is the pramat. So the vritti, there is no nirvikalpaka vritti which is revealing a nirvikalpaka vastu. If you take this, because the vritti itself is savikalpa only, he says. The very fact that you say it is a vritti, it makes it into a savikalpaka, and therefore there is no really any nirvikalpaka vritti at all. Nirvikalpaka pramana is not there. And then how is it going to reveal any nirvikalpaka vastu then? There is no pratiti which is based on a nirvikalpaka vritti. That is their argument now. So, tasyapi pratiti abhavat pratyayatva hanihi. Therefore, there is no pratyaya like that. If you say nirvikalpaka pratyaya, it cannot be even considered as a pratyaya. It will give up its pratyayatvam. It cannot be considered as a valid cognition or a cognition. Like this, when they say what, that also you can't say na vachyam. Why? The same thing we will say savikalpaka pratyayenapi kasyapi pratiti abhavat tasyapi pratyayatva hanihi iti vaktavyaat. See, if you say like this, even in every savikalpaka pratyaya, some vikalpas are not revealed. We already said that, correct? That means they will also, so what he is trying to say is, even what you claim as nirvikalpaka pratyaya is revealed by a savikalpaka vritti. Therefore, that nirvikalpaka vastu will become savikalpaka, according to him. It will have some vikalpas. We are saying the other way around. Even savikalpaka vritti, if you say, cannot reveal all vikalpas, correct? Some vikalpas it is not revealing. Therefore, it will also lose its pratyayatvam, we are saying, because it will become nirvikalpaka, using your own definition. Since it is not revealing some vikalpas, so even a savikalpaka vritti is only revealing a nirvikalpaka vastu, and therefore it cannot be a pratyaya. It is not a valid cognition anymore. Pratyayatva anihi will come. So we turn the tables and say like this. Then what he is saying, savikalpaka pratyayana, savikalpakam pratiyate. He is saying the savikalpaka pratyaya is revealing only something savikalpaka, even though it may not reveal everything, all the vikalpas. So what is your problem? He is asking like this. Then we say what? Even that you can't say. Why? Then we will say nirvikalpaka pratyayanapi nirvikalpakam pratiyate iti vachyatvat. So we will say the nirvikalpaka pratyaya then reveals nirvikalpaka vastu. If you say savikalpaka pratyaya reveals savikalpaka vastu, we are saying nirvikalpaka pratyaya reveals nirvikalpaka vastu, and you cannot claim it is not even there, correct? But once we say this, what he is saying, nata nirvikalpakasya yadi pratiyamanatvam tarhi tenaiva pratiyamanattvena nirvikalpena tat savikalpakam eva bhavet iti vachyam. So now what he is saying, if you say there is a nirvikalpaka pratyaya, and that nirvikalpaka pratyaya is revealing to me a nirvikalpaka vastu, correct? Therefore there is a nirvikalpaka pratiti is there. The very fact that it is a pratyaya, correct, means or it is known. Through the nirvikalpaka vritti, I know a nirvikalpaka vastu means that nirvikalpaka pratyaya is there, means it has pratiya manatvam, we say, correct? It becomes a known vastu. That known itself is a quality, correct? Then it becomes savikalpaka. How can you still claim that something is known and then it is still nirvikalpa? So its vikalpatvam, that nirvikalpakatvam itself will go away because it has pratiyamanatvam. Okay, it is something known. The very fact that it is known, it has that quality of knowability. This is their argument now. Even that they cannot say. Why? Yadapi एवं स्वप्रकाशत्वात् निर्विकल्पकस्य वस्तुनः प्रतीयमानत्वम् अयुक्तं तथापि निर्विकल्पक वस्तु आवरक अज्ञान नाशस्य निर्विकल्पक वस्तु आकार वृत्ति कृतत्वेन निर्विकल्पक निर्विकल्प वस्तुनः vritti vedyatvam uchyate upacharaditi. Okay, now the siddhanta we have to understand very clearly. So now we are talking about vritti vyapti and phala vyapti. Those two things we are talking about here. So see, we also say that Brahman Atma is Swaprakasha. Okay, so the nirvikalpaka vastu is really jnana swarupa, Swaprakasha, Swatasiddha, and all this we say. Correct? It is self-existent, self-revealing conscious entity. So this nirvikalpaka vastu being self-revealing, it cannot really be a known object. In fact, it's never a known object, correct? That is the difficulty. The self-knowledge itself, what is the difference between any other knowledge and self-knowledge? This is something we all have to understand very clearly. This self-knowledge is really considered a different kind of knowledge, correct? It's a subtle thing. That's why even the Upanishad says, Drishyate tu agreya buddhya, sukshmaya sukshmadarshibihi and all that. Therefore, it is something subtle, it is something different. What is the main difference? You are trying to know something which can never become an object of knowledge. That is the beauty here. Because it is the very nature of the subject itself. That is the beauty here. But the thing is, you don't have to objectify because it is self-revealing. But the problem with people is, all your life, you have only known things by objectifying it, correct? Whether you objectify it through your sense organs, which is sense perception, or even through anumana and all that, you are still objectifying it in the mind. The anumati also is a vritti in the mind only. And whatever through that vritti object is revealed, even though it may be indirect, but still it is an objectified knowledge only. By objectifying something only, you know. Even abstract concepts and all, you have to objectify it in your mind, and then only you know that. So, that being the case, everything you have known as objective, as object, and when we talk about self-knowledge also, your default mode of trying to know that is that you are still trying to objectify it. That is why many people, even when I Brahman is Ananta, then they start imagining themselves that they are spreading everywhere and all that. These kinds of things are all problem. It's not that you can't even have the pervaded and pervader division in Brahman. Understand that. There is no question of you pervading everything in that manner. There is no division here. It's basically everything is you, in fact. Right? The existence of everything itself is your existence alone. That is something to be grasped. It is something to be understood. But when you understand that, you can still not objectify yourself, correct? You can never objectify yourself. But you have to understand that you don't have to objectify yourself. In fact, you have to stop identifying with any object. That is the whole problem. The problem is ajnanam, correct? The problem is wrong identification with body mind sense complex and taking body mind sense complex as real. These are all the things problem. So really speaking, Brahma Jnanam means what? Only Ajnana Nasha. This Ajnana, both the Mula Vidya which is there, and also the Adhyasa itself is taken as this Avidya Karya, and that Adhyasa also you take it as real, correct? That is the problem. So there is a Jnana Adhyasa is there, and that Jnana Adhyasa has to go away. The Mula Vidya has to go away, it has to be destroyed. Then there is no identification with the body mind sense complex. And it is all mithya also. The mind itself is mithya, in fact. See, that's why even this mind and all that, we do say that you have to have a certain mastery over your mind. No doubt about that, because whatever the habitual tendencies are all situated in the mind only. And the consciousness is just lighting up whatever is there. But at the end of the day, the mind has to be seen as mithya. That is the only way you can destroy it, correct? Just stopping the mind also is not enough, because again when it becomes active, then it is a problem. So you can, that's why chitta vritti nirodha doesn't work. In fact, Bhashyakara says in the 147 Bhashya in the Brihadaranyaka, he talks about this. In fact, he says without the Mahavakya Janita Jnanam, even like bringing complete chitta vritti nirodha and all is impossible, he says. Even if you take that as something very important. So at the end of the day, mind has to be seen as not real, in fact. Mind is not real. And your identity with this unreal thing has to end. So that is the important thing. So the Swaprakasha Vastu is really not something which can be cognized as an object. Understand that? We agree. In fact, the Kena Upanishad is very clear about it, correct? Yadi manyase suvedeti dabhrameva nunam tvam vetha brahmano rupam and all that. It is said, correct? If you think that you know it very well, means you know it as an object, then you don't know anything. Correct? But then after saying all these things, so if you say that you know it, you don't know it. Only those who say I don't know it really know it and all, it says like that. And then the student, what he says finally, manye viditam. He understands that Brahman cannot be known as an object, but still I know the Brahma Swarupa because it is not separate from me, correct? It is myself. So the Pratiya Manatvam, then what is this Pratiya Manatvam of Brahman? It is only the vritti destroying this ajnanam, the wrong identification, the Brahma, erroneous cognition has to go away. The error has to go away. That's all we say. So the vritti vedyatvam is there in that case, in that way. It is not that you are objectifying it and then knowing it then. It cannot be the object of any pratiti also, because the pratiti itself is lighted up by this Brahman alone. Correct? How can it be then objectified by that pratiti? Mind itself is lighted up by that consciousness which I am. Okay? That's why we have to say that, even he will also say this here next, I think, that manovag agocharatvam is there. We accept that. But still the vritti has to take place. The akhandakara vritti is the one which destroys the ajnanam. And with reference to that alone, the pratyamanatam is only figuratively said that Brahman has this pratyamanatam and all that. It is only upachara. Okay. So it's not really, it cannot be objectified. So the nirvikalpaka vastu akara vritti also is only destroying the ajnanam. Okay. Which is covering the reality and then projecting something which is not really there. So that has to go away. So in this manner, what evam brahmanaha vritti vyapyatva satvadeva manasaiva anudrashtavyam iti shruyate. Yeah, so manasa eva anudrashtavyam is there. Then manasa eva idam aptavyam. And all these vakyas are there, correct? And also drishyate to agreya buddhya, all these things, there are so many places the Upanishad itself says this. But the Upanishad also says, yato vacho nivartante apraapya manasa saha. So both are there. So from this, what do we understand? Brahman can never become an object of the mind, or it cannot become the meaning of any one word. That is true. But still this Brahman has to be cognized through the mind, and even that cognized, when we say, it is not cognized as an object. Basically, you have to only remove all the wrong notions about yourself, this Brahmatma. So the vritti vyapyatvam only is there. The khala vyapti is not there. That's what we are saying, that you cannot say, I know Brahman as an object. Normally, for every other knowledge, the vritti vyapyatvam destroys the ajnanam. Even in the Tula Vidya, Tula Vidya means the ajnana which refers to everything anatma. Anatma Jnanam is called Tula Vidya. Generally in Vyavahara we have Jnana only, correct? We don't know about so many things. And whenever you know about anything, There also the mind goes and takes the form of that object, means the ajnana with reference to that object is destroyed. That is vritti vyapti. Once the mind covers that, the vritti vyapti is there. And then the ajnana destroyed, and then I say I know it. That is the phala vyapti. Here you cannot say I know in that way. In like an object, I cannot know. So nedam ididam upasate. Correct? Yen manasana manute yenahur manomatam tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam ididam upasate. So yeah, because of which only mind is functioning as mind. And that which can never be objectified by the mind, that is Brahman. Know that as Brahman, not the one which you are doing upasana or visualizing as this, correct? So that's the Brahman we are talking about. And with reference to that, vritti vyapyatvam is there. And that's why you have Shrutis like manasa eva anudrashtavyam. But what? Phala vyapyatva bhavatu mano vag agocharatvam iti uchyate iti na virodha. But it cannot be objectified by the mind or even any words. That's why this yato vacho nivartante Shrutis like that also is there. That is pointing that phala is not there. I cannot say I know it as an object because it is always, it is eternally the subject alone. It is the very nature of the subject. So here, what is this phala he is explaining. Phala nama vritti pratiphalita chaitanya bhasyatvam. So once an object has been covered by the vritti, then the chaitanya is shining on that, correct? And when the chaitanya shines on that object, after the mind takes the form of that object, then you say, I know it as an object. For Brahman, the vritti is there, but the vritti cannot really, vritti is only removing Brahman ajnanam. And afterwards, the chaitanya cannot shine on itself, correct? There is no chaitanya shining on the object. That part is not there. That's why the vritti pratipalita chaitanya bhasyatvam cannot be there for Brahmatma or Atma itself, which is chaitanya swarupa. It cannot shine on itself. So that's why the phala vyapyatvam is not there. It can never be known as an object. In fact, that is why this knowledge is very subtle. There's a lot of confusion. Even devas are confused. In Kathopanishad, Yama says that, so why are you going after all these things? I will give you something, enjoy life, etc. to Nachiketa. But Nachiketa doesn't accept. Okay. So anyway, here this phala vyapyatvam nama vritti pratiphalita chaitanya bhasyatvam tad hi jadasya sambhavati. So that can be there only for an anatma jada vastu because the chaitanya can shine on it. But the chaitanya cannot shine on itself. Tasya swataha bhana yoga. So swataha by it cannot shine on itself or the chaitanya vastu. Therefore, it cannot have this vritti pratipalita chaitanya bhasyatvam. Further what? Na brahmanaha tasya swataha bhana sambhava. And again, it cannot be on Brahman also because Brahman is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Correct? It is Jnana Swarupa, Brahman also. And Brahman is not separate from Atma also. Even if we say that it is not possible for the subject, which is Atma, what about Brahman means for Brahman also same thing. Taha, Bhana, Sambhava is not possible. In fact, that's why it is said correct. Natatra Suryo, Chandrana, Bhag, all this we do the Arati daily with that. Tasya Bhasa, Sarvamidam Vibhati, we say finally, correct? So न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तारकम नेमा विद्युतो भांति कुतोयम अग्निः. All this is there in Mundaka Upanishad, Kathopanishad also. So tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. He is quoting that also here. So nacha brahmanaha suprakashatvepi vivadit vivaditatvam vivaditavyam. Okay, you cannot debate that Brahman is really suprakasha or not. Only Jiva, only the Atma is suprakasha. Brahman is not suprakasha. You cannot say why. It is clearly saying, Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam. Brahman alone shines. This Brahmatma It is Jnana Swarupa, that alone really shines. And also it is said, Atra Ayam Purusha Swayam Jyotihi, this is Brihadaranyaka. Ityadi Shastrat. So Brahman is Swaprakasha, Swayam Jyotihi. This is the Swayam Jyotir Brahmana. Just now we finished in Brihadaranyaka. So Nacha Swayam Bhasamane Tasmin Katam Ajnana Avaranam Iti Vachyam. So next question is what? Okay, Brahman is Swaprakasha. And how can it be covered by Ajnana? It is Jnana Swarupa means, how can you say that it is covered by Ajnanam? Even in Gita, Bhagavan is saying, correct? Jnanena avritam, Ajnanena avritam jnanam, tena mukhyanti jantavaha. How can it be covered? Means, because what? Ajnana avaranasyapi tena bhasya manatvat, kaushikaihi surye tamasaha iva mudaihi brahmani ajnanasya kalpitatvatcha iti. He is saying Jnana Avarana also is basic. Jnana itself is revealed by only this Brahman because the Swarupa Jnanam is not opposed to Ajnanam also. We have already given this analogy of sun being covered by clouds, etc. Here he is giving another analogy. Kaushikaihi Surye Tamasaha Iva. He is saying even like the owl and other nocturnal birds and all, they in the daytime they think that it is dark because their eyes are all different, correct? When it is very bright, they cannot see. So it becomes too much for them. So it is like darkness. Like that, the mudhas, those who are deluded, they have only ajnana with reference to Brahman, and that ajnana itself is kalpita. Understand that ajnana is not real, it is only mithya. It's not of the same order of Brahman or anything. So ajnanam is something kalpita, but that kalpita ajnanam can cover the swarupa of Brahman. That is the thing here. That is the Maya, in fact. So that is the Maya Shakti. So that is there. That you cannot deny that. Therefore, what tasmat nirvikalpasyapi vastunaha vritti vyapyatva sadbhavad aupacharikam nyayatvam asti iti tad vishayasyapi nirvikalpaka pratyayasya asti pratyayatvam iti. So therefore, what even though the vastu is nirvikalpa, but it has vritti vyapyatvam. Phala vyapti is not there. So the vritti vyapyatvam being there, figuratively we can say it is known. Okay, nyayatvam also is there. Upacharikam only it is. And therefore, whichever vritti which destroys the ajnanam and has that vritti vyapyatvam, that vritti, that is the nirvikalpaka pratyaya for us. So that has pratyayatvam, that is fine. Even that pratyayatvam is only upacharikam again. Okay, then what? Nacha brahmanaha vritti vyapyatva dharme satyapi nirvikalpakatva hanihi eva iti vachyam. So now what they are saying, even the vritti vyapyatvam, why can't we take it as a vishesha or a vikalpa? Therefore it is no more nirvikalpa, correct? Nirvikalpatva hanihi will come if you say that Brahman has vritti vyapyatvam. So then what do we say? In reality, even that is not there. Correct? So, paramartataha, vrittehe eva abhavena, the vritti, ajnanam, vritti, everything is not there. Correct? Nanirodho, nachotpattihi, nacha baddho, na sadakaha. Namumukshur, navai muktihi, ityesha paramartata, like that. This is what Acharya has taught, Gaudapada Acharya. परमार्थतः वृत्तेः एव अभावेन तद्व्याप्यत्यस्य एव अभावात् नास्ति ब्रह्मणः निर्विकल्पत्व व्याहतिः. So in reality there is no vritti or ajnana or anything. Okay, from its own standpoint it is shining by itself in its own glory. None of these things are there. That is the greatness. Correct? So there is no vritti vyapyatvam or anything in Brahman. All these things only from Upadeshad ayam vadaha. Like this it is said, correct? It is all to teach you this only we are talking about all these things. So to make you know that there is no Dvaitam, in fact. Once you know there is no Dvaitam or anything, correct? And there is no avidya also. In fact, the knowledge is that you are never ignorant also. You are always this consciousness which is lighting up everything. That I am ignorant or I am knowledgeable also is equally a delusion only. So you have to get rid of that delusion also. The first delusion is I am a knower. That delusion itself has to go away. Jnatritvam itself has to go away. You are not really a knower or anything. So paramarthataha, none of these things, in reality, none of these things apply. So therefore Brahman is nirvikalpa only. It does not lose, or there is no contradiction in saying that Brahman is nirvikalpa. In Vyavahara we accept. Okay, Vyavaharatastu Brahmanaha Savikalpatvam Asmabihi Abhyupetam Eva. So in the Vyavahara we accept Brahman is Savikalpa, Saguna Brahma. And in fact the Lakshanas themselves are pointing out, correct? Janmadhyasya yataha, the Brahmana Jagat Karanam. Again, that is all Upadeshadayam Vadaha. Understand? It is all only for the purpose of Upadesha. It is all Shastra Adhyaropa Apavada is done. Adhyaropa, deliberately, Shastra is superimposing this Jagat Karanatvam on Brahman only to show that the Karya is Mithya. And once the Karya becomes Mithya, the Karanatvam also is equally Mithya. By that, the Apavada is done. Brahman is shown as it is, as Ekameva Dvitiyam, Neha Nanasti Kinchana, Neti Neti, etc. So, Adhyaropa Apavada, we have to understand very clearly. Therefore, there is no problem. Okay. So, in Vyavahara, we accept Savikalpakatvam. Then what? Kincha Savikalpaka Pratyayataya Tvaya Bhyupratyeta Iyam Ghataha iti Anubhavaha api Nirvikalpaka Vastu Paraha Eva iti Purvameva Darshitatvat Anubhava Matrakam Nirvikalpakam Swayam Prakasham Cha iti. So finally what do we say? In fact, we say the other way around. That even every Savikalpaka Pratyaya also is really only revealing the Asti Bhati of Brahman. Correct? It is only Nirvikalpaka Vastupara. Every Savikalpaka cognition also, the invariable in that is consciousness is. Only the Nama Rupa is variable and Nama Rupa is anyway Mithya. So it's all really revealing to you only the Nirvikalpaka Vastu. This we have shown already to you. Okay, Purvameva Darshitatva. Because the Sadbuddhi alone is Anuvrittam. In each and every cognition, it is Satchit, in fact, we have to say. That alone, the Anuvritti of that is there. It continues invariably. The names and forms keep on changing. And Bhashyakara beautifully says that in that Nasato Vidyate Bhavaha, Nabhavo Vidyate Sataha Bhashya, in the 216 Bhagavad Gita Bhashya. So, that being the case, we have established that every cognition really only points to this Nirvikalpaka Vastu, which is yourself. This was already shown, therefore what? Anubhava Matrakam Nirvikalpakam Swayam Prakasham Chaiti. So, this Brahman is nothing but it is the very nature of experience, correct? It is both the experiencer, experienced, experience, everything is Brahman alone. It is the very nature of experience. Anubhava Matra, that's why it is. And it is Nirvikalpaka. There is no division in that. There is no experiencer, experienced division also. That is all again Mithya. It is of the very nature of consciousness in which all experiences resolve. That's why it is Anubhava Matrakam, Nirvikalpakam, Swayam Prakasham, Swayam Jyoti. That is the self-existent, self-revealing conscious entity which is yourself. That is this Brahman. So further what? Yad uktam savikalpake nirvikalpaka anubhutartha vishishta pratyabhijnana satvat nirvikalpaka jnanancha savishesha vishayam iti tadapi asati. Okay, one more thing in the Sutta Prakashika is saying is, even in the sleep, they also have to accept that there is no vikalpa in the sleep, correct? There is no tripati itself. There is no knower known. knowledge difference in the while you are sleeping. But then what do they say? Even that nirvikalpaka anubhava, because you are able to get up and recollect that, correct? The pratyabhijna, they are using it differently. They are saying, since you are having, you are able to recollect that I slept well, that I enjoyed, I did not know anything. All these things are only savikalpaka. The recollection itself is savikalpaka. So the recollection of that susupti anubhava being savikalpaka, that means the vishaya which is there also has to be savishesha only. Correct? That is their argument. So with reference, so everything is savikalpaka only according to them. So with reference to savikalpaka, what they say is even the nirvikalpaka anubhuti in the sushupti, since you are able to recollect it after getting up, and that recollection being savishesha or savikalpaka, even that is really only that whatever nirvikalpaka jnanam we claim in the sleep also is only savishesha vishaya only. This is what he is saying, but that is also not true. Why? Because we say what pramata pramanam premeyam cha iti triputi yatra bhati tat savikalpakam yatha ghatam aham janami iti. So what we say is what only when the triputi, the division, that known knowledge or the means of knowledge and the knower known means of knowledge, these division, these three things when they are there only, wherever it is clearly cognized, these three, that is only savikalpaka. So like when you say that I know this part, correct? Yatha ghatamaham janami. Like when you say I know this part, that is savikalpakam because all three are there. Okay, but when once you say that, what they are raising one more objection. What is that? Atra pramatru prameye eva bhataha natu pramanam iti vachyam. So they are saying the pramana is not known. Even there, only the knower and known are known, or whatever they are cognized. Where are we separately cognizing the means of knowledge, pramana? You cannot say that. Why? Because when you say janami, correct? Janami ityasya jnana ashrayaha asmi iti arthat jnanasya vritti jnanatvena pramanatvat vrittihi pramanam iti praguktam. Already we said what? When you say janami, I know, that jnana ashraya, you are the jnana ashraya, correct? You are the one in whom this knowledge is there. When you say that, what do you mean by this knowledge? Means it is basically vritti jnanam only, correct? It is vritti. You are the ashraya for the vritti, which makes you say that once the consciousness shines on that vritti, you say, I know. So you are the jnana ashraya, and once you are the jnana ashraya, that jnana itself is vritti jnanam only. So vritti jnanatvena, that jnanam is in the form of manovritti, and that manovritti only we say is the pramana really, correct? That is the one which reveals. Whatever may be the reason for that manovritti to be born. It may be born due to sense and object contact, correct? Indriyartha sannikarsha. Or in the case of Anumana, it is born differently, correct? It is born due to the samskara, vyapti samskara, and whatever the hetu which you are seeing, correct? So the hetu which you are seeing also kindles the samskara of the vyapti, and based on that the anumiti jnanam takes place, but that anumiti also is only a manovritti, correct? So like that, you being the ashraya of that vritti, and that vritti is really the pramana, therefore pramana is there. Pramanatvat vrittihi pramanam iti hi praguktam. So we say that, so that vritti only, you are, when you claim that I know, basically pramana is also established. So you cannot say that it is not shining. Therefore savikalpakat अन्यत् निर्विकल्पकं ज्ञानं तच्च इदम् इत्थम् इति वक्तुम् अशक्यं वक्तुं शक्यत्वे हि तस्य सविकल्पकत्वम् एव स्यात्. So you have to be very clear. The savikalpaka jnanam is different, nirvikalpaka jnanam is different. Savikalpakam means triputi is there. In nirvikalpakam jnanam there is no triputi, there is no division of knower, known, knowledge, etc. And whenever you say anything that I know this, correct, in this manner, correct, itham iti, So this, I know it in this way. Something like that, whenever there is a pramana vritti like that, that is savikalpaka only always. That in which you cannot know as this, correct? I know it in this manner, you can never say that alone is nirvikalpaka. So vaktum shakyatve tasya savikalpakatvam eva syat. So if you are able to say that I know it this way, means it is always savikalpaka. And nirvikalpaka means you cannot even say that. And nishprakarakam hi jnanam durvacham. So this nirvikalpakam jnanam means cannot be even, the words also cannot directly indicate. That's why we have to have lakshana vritti and all that, correct? Therefore, what kenachit prakarena vishishtasya eva vaktum shakyatvat ataha eva atindriyam nirvikalpakam iti tarkikaihi uktam. So even the tarkikas say nirvikalpaka jnanam is atindriyam. Why? Because anything which is indicated by words, correct, which is again jati, guna, kriya, sambandha, etc., those are all again savikalpaka. So nirvikalpaka means that which is durvacha, means it cannot be indicated by words, and also automatically it becomes atindriya. It is beyond even your senses, because whatever is cognizable through your senses, you can describe it through words. But this is beyond your senses. That is why even Tarkikas say the Nirvikalpaka Jnana is Atindriya. And Nahi Vacha Itam, Nahi Vacha Idam Itam iti Vaktum Sakyam Atindriyam Bhavitum Arasi. So if you can say something through your words and your senses and your mind, etc., that this is like this, then you cannot say it is Atindriya, correct? Really. Tarkikas also say that Nirvikalpaka Jnana is Atindriya. And also, so that means it cannot be objectified by your indriyas nor by your mind. And in fact, the Tarkikas consider the mind itself as a indriya. Therefore, evam manasa api idam itham iti chintayitum ashakyam eva tat. So even by the mind, you cannot say it is like this. And Tarkikas, so manohi indriyam Tarkika mate एतस्मिन् अतीन्द्रिये निर्विकल्पके ज्ञाने विषयभूतः यः अर्थः सः यदि केनचित् विशेषेण विशिष्टः तर्हि तदित्थम् इदम् इत्थम् इति वक्तुं शक्येत एव. So a nirvikalpaka jnana in which the Vishaya itself is having some Visheshana means you should be able to say that it is like this, in this manner. But you are not able to say anything like that while you are sleeping, correct? Therefore, how can you say that that sleep experience is pointing to some Savishesha Vastu? It has to be only the Nirvishesha Vastu. So if it is really Savishesha, means during sleeping only you should be able to say, I know it. Not just the recollection is fine. Recollection can be Savishesha. But what you actually experience there is Nirvishesha. That is what we are pointing out. So we will continue this in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
Om.